Right, 7 January 2025, and today I'm going to be giving an update on the road, so it's going to be a very short update. Normally I want to go for 45 minutes, but I think today it will be like 10 minutes. So let's quickly go through what has happened today, and the most important thing is going to be the situation in Mozambique. So we are leading up to the last 7 days before the inauguration. The inauguration is going to be next week on Wednesday, and you are going to see a lot of activity this week in Mozambique. And next week, by the weekend, the situation in Mozambique is going to blow up, and it's going to be very, very bad, because SADC has once again proved that they don't have the best interests of the citizens, ordinary citizens of the countries where elections take place. You remember that last year we had a lot of action in Zimbabwe where SADC failed to meet the expectations of the citizens. So in Mozambique, the situation is very bad because FRELIMO has rigged the election with the help of Mnangagwa, and they are on the verge of inaugurating Chapo here. And yesterday, SADC has made a statement or an announcement after the troika meeting, and the announcement is very disappointing. The meeting was held between Zambia, Malawi, and Tanzania, and the outcome is unexpected, and it is also strange. So the outcome was that the panel of elders would try to mediate in Mozambique, and they must produce a result by the 15th of January. What this effectively means is that in Mozambique, they are going to allow the inauguration to go ahead without solving the problem. So if you are going to give the outcome of the mediation by the 15th, which is the day when the result is going to come, without moving the actual inauguration, it means that you have now accepted that Chapo must become the president of Mozambique. And to make matters worse, they have now mandated SADC to protect trade routes. As you know, that South Africa has got massive interests in Mozambique. South Africa and South African banks, they are the biggest exploiters of Mozambique. There are 3 banks currently in Mozambique that have projects worth at least $7 billion. And these banks are trying to protect the interests. They are doing everything in their power. The South African government and politically connected figures in South Africa have got over $50 billion worth of projects in South Africa, including the gas, offshore gas that was discovered in Mozambique. So this thing is not about the people of Mozambique. The people of Mozambique are not getting anything from the massive wealth that they've got in Mozambique over there. And the outcome is clear. It's showing you that people are protecting their interests. They do not care about the people's interests. Venancio Mondlane, the most popular person in Mozambique right now, people want this man to become the president of Mozambique. And unfortunately, this has been prevented by political and economic interests in the region. And this includes people that would normally expect to speak out against all this. These people are also participating, especially South Africa. South Africa is heavily implicated in Mozambique. South Africa is part of the reason why the elections in Mozambique have gone the way that they've gone, on top of Mnangagwa, who has helped to rig the election. So let's see what happens by the 15th. That is when the panel of elders are supposed to provide a response or an update. Basically, it's an update because they're not going to do anything. The actual inauguration has not been stopped. What I expected SADC to do was to say the inauguration should not go ahead. A solution must first of all be reached before we go to inauguration, and then they'll extend, at least for some time, the presidency of President Nyusi, maybe by another year, while a solution is being found. However, we're going to have a President Chapo here. And once Chapo is inaugurated, you cannot expect him to make any changes. He's going to hold on to power, and the situation is going to continue. There's going to be massive problems in Mozambique. And as I said, it's very easy to solve the problem in Mozambique. Just divide that country into at least between 5 and 10 regions or zones where there is a premier or someone leading. So Venanzio can become a president at Maputo, and they put another person as a president somewhere else. You have about 5 to 10 people who are premiers. And then you have a national president. I think Venanzio Mondlane has proposed a constitutional amendment, which, of course, I haven't seen the document. And you know the massive communication barrier that we have with Mozambique is that the guys speak in Portuguese and we speak in English. So news tends to move very slowly between Zimbabwe and Mozambique and other countries. Because when something happens, although I'm watching him, we are not hearing everything that he's saying. And all these massive numbers of people, I showed you yesterday, there were over 120,000 people on this live stream. They are understanding what Venanzio is saying. But most of us here in South Africa and in Zimbabwe and in Zambia, Mozambique, all these countries, we don't hear what he's saying. We only get to hear it after we get an interpretation. But my understanding is that Venanzio Mondlane is planning to go back home before the end of next week. I don't think that's a wise move. And because he's got a lot of power from wherever he is, I don't know what will happen if Venanzio steps into Mozambique, if he's going to make it, if he's going to be safe over there. But very, very interesting situation in Mozambique. However, SADC, once again, disappointing. You saw this meeting here. These guys were sitting here. This is the president of Tanzania. She has been looking at this situation and not much has happened. What is the outcome of the SADC observer mission in Mozambique? What have they said? Then you've got Malawi and Zambia. They've been quiet on this issue. Zambia has not really spoken out on the rigging. I was expecting President Hakainde Hichilema to speak out quite a lot on this issue, but he seems to be stepping back and allowing the new people who are in to take charge. Then you've got Malawi. Malawi here, they even had one person on the stream. That is crazy. I think I saw a picture of one person on the stream. They are the incoming chairperson of the SADC troika. And you know Malawi, I don't think it's a secret that the president of Malawi and Mnangagwa are very close. Mnangagwa is one person that believes in rigging, and he's rigged the elections in Mozambique. So there is no way that Malawi and Zimbabwe can be allowed to take charge of the situation in Mozambique. This is crazy. You can't have Malawi taking charge of the situation in Mozambique. Malawi is very close to Mnangagwa, and Mnangagwa is the one who rigged the election in Mozambique. So this is crazy. So this SADC, troika, and panel of elders, there needs to be another structure. And the only structure right now that is powerful is the people of Mozambique. The people of Mozambique must be aware that they're dealing with a useless SADC. SADC can't give them a solution. The solution should have been suspend or postpone the inauguration for a year, and then a solution will be found, which is, in my view, a government of national unity. You need to have a government of national unity in Mozambique, which will eventually lead to a change of the structure of the government of Mozambique in such a way that you have a number of premiers and then a national government, because this situation will never change. It will always be like this. There are various structural issues in Mozambique, tribal issues, regional issues, which make it impossible for one person to lead Mozambique. I've said this before. Mozambique is too big for one person to take charge over there. So as I said, I don't want to take too long. Let me quickly look at what has happened in Zimbabwe. There's been a trababulous situation. Everything is trababulous. This is clear. Mnangagwa and corruption, they are killing people. So the corruption that Mnangagwa is causing in Zimbabwe is going to kill so many people. And it has started. So I told you that there is massive corruption at the Mbudzi interchange or the Trababulous interchange, one person has died after the collapse of the Trabablas interchange cranes. So 2 cranes collapsed yesterday, and this is because of a company called Manzilink. Manzilink was dismantling a crane, and the crane collapsed. There's video of the collapse taking place at a former engineering. Very, very sad to see them encountering this kind of situation. But I blame the lack of skill. So in the whole of the SADC region, there is no skill for anything in engineering. Construction industry in Zimbabwe has collapsed because many companies that were skilled have left. And this collapse of a crane is one of very few. Imagine if cranes were collapsing in the middle of cities, what would happen? So a crane is very important, and it should be a basic skill. It should be basic for you to know how to put up a crane and how to secure it and how to dismantle it. So in this particular case, they don't check anything that is happening there. That's Manzilink over here. That's the company. And one employee died after this collapse of the crane. And what is their skill? They are involved in stainless steel welding, in building and construction services, and storage tank repairs. So let me tell you a secret about welding. In the whole of SADC, there is no one who can weld. Can you believe it? There is no capacity in the whole of SADC to do welding. So when big companies are doing welding, they go to Germany, or they go to Russia, or they go to the United States, or to China. Because of the price, they end up going to probably China and so forth. One time, there was a massive construction here in South Africa, and I was working for a very big company. They hired a South African company to do welding, and the whole thing was leaking. And that was one of the biggest companies in South Africa. So eventually, they just went outside the country and hired a proper company that could weld. The project was delayed by millions of millions because of poor welding. So Mnangagwa, they don't know it. They think the welding is easy, and they think that it's easy to do engineering. Engineering is hard. And what has happened at Mbudzi, it shows you that one day you're going to be driving on top of that bridge, and the whole thing is just guys, this is crazy. This is trababulous and unbelievable. I'm not laughing because it's a tragic situation. But building such a small bridge costing $80 million US, you could have taken 10 to 20 million and given it to the Chinese and just made them do the bridge. Then you take the 60. That's what they should have done, but they didn't do it. Mnangagwa, Arpurevanu, Ninzara, is trababulous situation. This man is a mess. Everything he touches fails. So he is a failure. And it's clear, it's embarrassing. The moment he puts his name on the thing, it collapses. And it's trababulous. So let's go to other stories very quickly. You can see that I'm not talking about Valerio. I told you guys that I don't talk about things after they happen. I tell you something before it happens. When it has happened, it's commodity, it's common knowledge. And in this particular case, Valerio Sibanda, the extension of his term up to November the 3rd, I think you saw General Wende here, we talked about it. They've extended it. It was supposed to end. Normally, it's supposed to have 6 months. That's what General Wende said. You must retire 6 months before. And that means in June, he's going to be out. So they give you the retirement date, but he must be, the successor must be in place by June. So the date of June, which General Wende gave here last week, is very important. That is when you are going to have a new commander of OCDF. And I'm expecting that Valerio Sibanda of PV is going to be, by that time, he is already going to have been appointed as the vice president to checkmate Chiwenga. Chiwenga is nowhere to be found. I don't believe that Chiwenga right now is aware of what they're preparing for him. There's a big net that they're preparing for Chiwenga, so that when he walks, they're just gonna grab him and put him in the bag. So let's see how Chiwenga is going to get out of the bag. Is he going to get out of this one? Chiwenga, is he going to get out of the plan? Because Chiwenga is the only person that they will never allow to exist in Zimbabwe if he is not president. So it's either all or nothing. So for Chiwenga, it's either he becomes president or they will take him out. So at the point where we are now, there is no way that he's going to be allowed to hover around. So the plan is simple. They just have to find a way of taking him out of the equation. How is that going to work? How is that going to be done? And it's going to be very soon. When you're not watching, you're just going to hear, whoa. It's going to be very quick. And I always say, is he going to escape this one? How is he going to do it? If he escapes this one, then he's deserving of being the president of Zimbabwe. But you can see good, everything is dramatic. Everything is happening very quickly. I told you that this picture, by the end of the whole situation, they should have been changed on this picture. Everyone standing in this picture, very, very important. And you're going to see that by the time you have a new government, which is in 10 years' time, none of these people here will exist in the top structure of the government. And the only person that I'm seeing right now who might probably be there will be Chiwenga, because as you know, Mnangagwa is going over his last term. I don't believe that Mnangagwa will be able to extend his term. And this is my belief. I believe that Mnangagwa is playing another game. And my belief is that his game is to try to put one of his sons as a VP or Auxilia. So he's probably going to put Auxilia as one of the vice presidents. He's just trying to find a way of confusing the situation before he makes his move. So something big must happen. And that thing then leads to the appointment of the son or of Auxilia himself as one of the vice presidents. It's going to happen, but it's going to be a big, big fight. However, I don't think that the army guys are willing to make that move, that big decisive move against Mnangagwa. Right, I'm actually in a hotel. So the walls here are very thin. So someone is probably failing to sleep right now, hearing your voice. Like when I'm walking, right? And I'm in public. Guys are not seeing me and they're hearing me talking to someone. And then they say, I heard the voice, but I didn't see you. And most guys will just like come near me. So I'm sure someone in their own like, I know her voice ako. Kagambakwe. Now let's go to some pictures. My favorite person after Chamisa, she has tweeted, this is Fadzai Mahere. So I don't know about Fadzai Mahere, if she is pretty or not, but I think she's amazing as a lawyer. So when I see Fadzai's picture and her hairstyle, this is amazing. I think guys must give it a 10 out of 10. And as I said, one day when I get to Harare, I'm going to see her and have a chat. Me and Fadzai are no longer fighting each other. She unblocked me on Twitter. That was amazing. I don't know how that happened, but I just got unblocked. So I'm in the good books of Fadzai. So she's also now in my good books. And then Chamisa has tweeted. So Chamisa did a tweet yesterday. He is in the raw areas. He says he's in the raw areas. But the CIO guys are watching him very closely. So every time he tweets, I normally get a message saying, Chamisa, he's saying the raw areas, but it's not like last week. They said, I know he's not in the raw areas. However, there is 2 tweets that Chamisa deleted. I do not know why Chamisa deleted those 2 tweets, but let me read them for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. So it's very strange for me why Chamisa deleted these 2 tweets. So here is the tweets. So because of the situation, so here's the tweets. So Chamisa has got a platform called the Chamisa News Channel on on WhatsApp. So if you go here, they're still here. He didn't delete them on WhatsApp, but he deleted them on Twitter. So this was the first one saying, hello 2025, we are in. All glory be to God. May 2025 be a memorable, prosperous, and significant year for you and us all. So that was the first one. And the second one says, change must happen in Zimbabwe. May God bless all our exploits. This 2025, Happy New Year. Let there be a new lease of life and grace. So I don't know why Chamisa deleted those tweets. There is a reason, but I don't know why. So you guys can make up your mind to say, is it because he doesn't want to use the word God anymore? Like, remember we said, every time Chamisa tweets, and it's a religious tweets, people don't engage. So very interesting. I don't know what that all means, what has happened. Then I want to, let's look at, well, Job Scholar is busy. So Job Scholar is very busy, but I don't know what he's busy with. So if you go to his party, he's with a political party, Job Scholar. It's called National Democratic Working Convention, Working Group, NDWG. You also go on WhatsApp, they're busy there, but I don't know what they're busy with. They're more like a pressure group. So we want someone who's going to be a political party, not a pressure group. I know what Tendai is doing. I've been told. Tendai, according to my sources, has reconfigured his old party, the PDP. So guys, listen very carefully to what I'm saying. Tendai has gone back and reconfigured his old political party, the PDP, and they have regrouped everything. So everyone was in PDP is now once again together. They're working together behind the scenes, which is crazy and unbelievable. But that is what is happening according to my sources. And you might hear an announcement very, very soon from Tendai or from people aligned to him. That is Mafume. Mafume has tried to play what you call a middle of the road. So Mafume is nice to everyone. He's nice to Mnangagwa, he's nice to Chiwenga, he's nice to Chamisa. That guy is crazy. He's even nice to me. Who is nice to me? It's not nice. So that is crazy stuff. And that is what is happening in our politics. So you might see the arisal or the arising of Tendai as the next leader coming soon. So watch that space. When Tendai does come back, if something happens to Chamisa, you will see Tendai coming up. But he's just waiting around with his old party, the PDP. Everyone was working there, is in there. That's why you see that Sengezo Chabangu has become extremely powerful. So Sengezo Chabangu has become like a broker of power. He can give power over here. He can negotiate with Mnangagwa. He can negotiate with this other political party and so forth. That is what is happening over there. There's a reconfiguration. And people are being given money so that they support the 2030. But it's not going to work. That's not the next move. The next move is from the military. That is what I have to say. Then we have the Chronicle newspaper leading with this amazing story. The old man on the left is a war veteran. He's called Elias Njani Moyo. He is 100 years old on 15 January. So if you go on the Chronicle newspaper, it's there. So the Chronicle newspaper gives all the news for free. I always tell you guys that news is a commodity. And I think most of you don't understand. A commodity, you don't sell it at a high price. You give it for free almost. You make a small markup. The more you sell, the more you get. So news is a commodity. No one cares what you publish. They care about your opinions. So where the value is on the opinion. And unfortunately, in Zimbabwe, no one is allowed to have an opinion. In all the public press, no one is allowed to have an opinion. That is why they're failing over there. But in this particular case, ex-freedom fighter, Mr. Elias Njani Moyo, is turning 100 years old. And he's going to be, I don't know how they're celebrating this thing. But he has been, when he was 50 at that time, he was accused of being a terrorist. And he was 50 years. Mutadzakana kusimuka. Mutadzakana kumira. 50 years. Uyu mudhara ane 100 years. Urumone here kuti akasimba achikutaura. But imimi mune 50 years. Muri kutadzana kumira. Sad situation in Zimbabwe. Then let's see if there's anything else I want to cover here. Let's look at the newspapers. Guys, I talk too much. I should have finished by now, but I talk too much. Let me go to the Herald newspaper. So, Herald Zimbabwe. What is Herald Zimbabwe saying? For the first time ever, the Herald newspaper. Oh my God, they have Mnangagwa's face every day. The Herald newspaper has to have Mnangagwa's face at the front. That is the order. So let me show you what they have now. Shocking. I can't believe that Mnangagwa is giving that order to say there's no day when there should not be his face. You see, there is every single day. If you go back for months and months, it's either himself or auxiliary over there. So that is President Extended General Sibanda's term of office. This is crazy, unbelievable. And my sources say that Chamisa believes that this is an illegal move. I will actually dig deeper because Chamisa is a lawyer, he knows all these things. Is this legal or not? I want to see a tweet from Chamisa. And then, obviously, over 70 lieutenant colonels have been promoted. So massive changes in the Zimbabwe military. Crazy stuff. Then Jenfan says media engagement remains a priority. This man is crazy. I sent my people to Jenfan's office last year because, you see, me, I believe that media must be moving around, even though they're annoying. They must be allowed to move around and do whatever they're doing. So I sent my people to Jenfan last year to try to engage with his team. They have to go to all sorts of offices to try and engage with the media. It will never happen. Because imagine if I was to do this broadcast and then I'm just walking around town all day. Do you think that will work? And no matter let these guys Rezano. Right, let's go to guys, some of the stories that are in the newspapers. People who are being robbed in Zimbabwe, or like fraud. It shows you that there's so much money in the system. One guy was buying his wife a car for 200,000, and that car, he was robbed of that money. Then but the guy whose watch worth 70,000 was stolen. So if you go to the Herald newspaper, there is a guy, right? He was buying his wife. So this one is the watch. A worker stole his watch worth 70,000. So that is the wake up. Let's see what it says here. In the bride, Mokonyonga Kutsatsa arrives at the Harare Magistrates Court yesterday in the company of police detectives to face charges of stealing 70,000 watch from his employer's home. Is his employer in Mnangagwa or what? And let's see who he stole from. Mr. Joris Piri Ves Felipe, a sales manager at SADC Energy Zimbabwe, who employed Katsatsa. Guys, where do you get money? Where do you get money to buy a watch for 70,000? Now let me show you the other guy in H Metro. This is crazy. People have got money in that country, but they don't know how to use it. If you've got that kind of money, don't take it and buy a watch. Do something business-wise which generates cash. But because they're stealing the money, they can't use it. Easy come, easy go. Here we've got a woman who's got one woman, several lovers, bizarre online claims. It's not a problem now. They can do it. Women can do this. Did I tell you guys what happened in the school? Without mentioning names. Something really bad happened. Let me show you this story. I won't mention a private story. I'm not gonna do it. Kelvin Kudzai Shema Kuyana, he has stolen 220,000. And this money belonged to Chiweshe. So A man called Chiweshe gave this money $220,000 to import a car. So money is there in the system, but you can see the characters that have got money. ZANU-PF connected, and also they don't know what to do with the money. They end up messing up very badly, and it's crazy. So let's see if I've got anything else I want to talk about. 30 minutes now. I need to stop. Let's see. Right. There is a man in South Africa, a Zimbabwean man. I covered this man before. So this man is called Labmo Musoi. He escaped police custody over a year ago, and they have now rearrested him. There are two prominent Zimbabweans who are on the run right now. And this one has been caught. This man here. They've caught him. I think he has killed a number of people, and they've also robbed and done a lot of crazy stuff. So he was living in the mountains, and the police, the army, the soldiers, and everybody, private companies, they launched an operation. That is when they caught him. This man was armed and dangerous, and he has been on the run for a very, very long time. And then obviously we've got the millionaire who is on the run. He pretended to be dead. He pretended that he threw himself into a river, and the police don't believe it. So there is one more man that is on the run. The police have asked him to hand himself over, but he hasn't done it at all. So now let's recap. I know I haven't covered everything. I would have loved to talk for a whole hour so that I can give you the news. There is so much happening around us. So today I haven't covered South Africa at all. I haven't covered Zambia at all. And eventually we have to make this, let's say, 2-hour bulletin. When our office in Victoria Falls is open, I'm going to make sure that we go for 2 hours every morning. Unfortunately, implementation is the most difficult stage. So when I'm describing an idea, it's easy. When it comes to us to implement, it's so hard. Right now, I've got people that have been on the bus for 8 hours going to a place. I've got more people going into places, and it takes days and days to implement. And you guys only see the end, but it's so hard and it takes so much money when we do these things. So I think I've covered most of the things that I wanted to cover. Unfortunately, not enough. But let's look at our sponsors. Guys, Mumbai is very powerful. It's trending everywhere. So if you don't have your packet of Mumbai, you must order one right now. It's very, very important for you to get one. 1 liter engine turns into 3 liter engine. One kickstart, and you don't have to crank it. So that is Mumbai. I can't stop laughing at that advert. These guys must pay me double. So we obviously have a bit of a slow delivery overseas because of the coming of this new year. So what I'm promising is that tomorrow, everyone will have their delivery overseas. Yesterday, all the backlog for South Africa and Zimbabwe was cleared. The Zimbabwe office will be open next week. By Wednesday, everyone will be able to receive their Mumbai. Inside Harare, you'll be able to walk into our shop and pick up. And in Bulawayo, it's already like that. Victoria Falls, if you're in Victoria Falls this week, you'll be able to pick up. We're going to do very, very well. 2025. I think let's go back to Mahere. I think I want to copy her style. What did she say? Mahere said something very interesting. 2025 will be a great year. So that is what he said over there. She said shall. What is the difference between shall, will, and is? And maybe Mahere will tell me shall. Oh, okay. So 2023 shall be a great year. And guys, it's a lot on one man. So I'm just one man, and I've got so much to do. And I would like to thank you for all your support. Let's look at the comments. This office is promoting at the rope that is going to tie him. Mafuta ega. His officers. You mean Mnangagwa, did it? He's promoted yesterday. Lieutenant Colonel to Colonel. I think 80. So there is a lot happening in the army. When I was telling you guys, I thought I was just talking stories. The changes that have taken place in the army are such that the command structure is no longer the same. So anyone who was in command, let's say Chiwenga, if he had some influence, is now zero. So what does Chiwenga have to do? Chiwenga has to create what is called a Trojan horse. Let's Google Trojan horse. What is a Trojan horse? Google Trojan horse. Trojan horse is a Trojan horse, the term of malware that disguises itself as a normal program to trick users into downloading and installing it. Saka, Chiwenga anobakisa inonzi Trojan horse. I think you remember Kudara kuti Ndakati Mahere, what she supposed to do when she was contesting. She was supposed to implement what is called the Jaijitsu. Jaijitsu is when you use the strong, apologies for the pronunciation. When you use the strength of your opponent against himself. However, what Chiwenga needs to implement is called what is called a Trojan horse. You enter the person that is pretending to be powerful, and they think you're part of them, but you're not. That is what is called a Trojan horse. That's the only way Chiwenga can be president. And then where's the flower shop? WhatsApp me, guys. I'll give you the contacts, and it's you get it delivered on the same day. Why is my Rebecca again when they advertise me there? I know my hair. I don't see, like when I see my hair. Let's say there's my hair and me in the world. I'll go and live on the north equator. I should go and live on the south, that side, and there'll be no kids in the country. Trust. We say breaking. I saw a platform saying Nick Mangwane Basarapera. I don't know how far true it is. I don't look at that level. If you see all the things that I talk about, Mnangagwa, Chiwenga, Mohadi, Opa, at that level, that's where I operate. Chamisa, BT. You have never heard me talking about these people who hang around. In Zimbabwe, there's no power there. Power is at the top. Zimbabwe yakasimbira kumsoro. Do you understand? So when I'm analyzing things, if someone says to me, why are you not saying Charamba was fired? Charamba is no one. If you go Kumbako Charamba, send. If you go Kumbako Genfan, and the batch one, Genfan is just suffering like you and me. They are no one. These are the people with the power. Anamutamba, Anam Matanga, Anachiwenga. Those are the people with power. I don't waste my time on no one's or nobody. no one's. That is what I'm talking about. In the common trust, everything is trababulous. Barbarous. Yes, guys, I'm out of battery. I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you, if possible, tonight. If something big happens, if it doesn't happen, we'll see each other tomorrow morning as I continue to be on the road for the next 2 weeks as we sort out 2025. Thank you very much for watching, and entertainment, current affairs and news. Come back,